All right, let's take a look at effective velocity at work in an at bat. This is a case where it's helping the hitter and killing the pitcher, and the pitcher may be mildly aware of it, but more likely than not has no idea that that's taken place. All right, so let's take a look at what happens. This pitcher throws 96 miles an hour. Everybody in the world knows that. He's seen the reports. He knows what 96 is. He's faced 96 many times, and he's totally capable of hitting 96. But what his brain tells him is not what 96 actually is, but what 96 is when it's in the minus side of the strike zone from an EV perspective. In other words, he's faced 96 many times, but his brain interprets 96 to equal 93. Why? Because for years and years and years and years and years, for decades, we've been taught to throw the ball downhill, keep the ball away, throw the ball down, throw the ball on the outside part of the plate. So in this part of the strike zone, middle down, that equals 93. Middle away, that equals 93. Down and away equals about 91. So in those three areas of the strike zone, it's going to be losing fastball speed. So we'll just call that the minus part of the strike zone. So when he walks to the plate, he's not really ready to hit 96. He's ready to hit 96 away or 93. So what happens when he throws this first pitch a little faster than 96? Because this is a 95 mile an hour fastball, slightly middle in, almost down and in, but slightly middle in. And he's late. How do we know he's late? A, he draws his hands in. His left arm is bent. His hands are closer to his chest. That's A. B, he's not hitting this ball on the sweet spot. He's hitting it just a little late off the sweet spot, so he's late. And C, he's got a little more weight on his back leg than normal. So he's late. There's no question about the fact that he's late. So 97, 98 EV makes him late. Now we go to the next pitch, and this is a great take. Actually, I would consider it a good take, but it's a very good take. A great take is when it's out of the tunnel, because that pitch is not in the tunnel. What a tunnel is in EV terms, a tunnel is when the pitch is on two separate planes. So when two pitches are in a vertical and a horizontal plane, they're in a tunnel. In the case of these two, let's take a look at them. These are a little more like the logo that you see in the background, right next to each other, but they're not right next to each other and on top of each other. So they're not sharing a tunnel. They're sharing a plane. You can see right there they're on a horizontal plane, but they're not in a tunnel. There's a very big difference. And the difference is the picture on the left. He takes it. Why does he take it? Because it didn't fool him long enough. It fooled him for a little bit. Dang, that's on the same line as a fastball, but it's off the plate. So that's why it's easier to take. It's not easy to take, it's easier to take than the ball that's in the tunnel. So now let's skip ahead to the real damage, and that is runner at third base, 2 outs, 1 run lead, and we throw the ball in the middle of the plate, but not just middle of the plate, middle down. So it's losing about 3 miles an hour of effective speed. And now the hitter is 100% on time and possibly even a little bit early. How do we know he's 100% on time? Because look at his lead arm is completely locked. And he's reaching a little bit, and he's right on the sweet spot, or very close to it. And so he's very close to 100% on time, and he smokes this ball and ties the game up. So the real story here is when we take the two fastballs and overlay them. This is how we really know what EV is doing in this at bat. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Evan Gattis because this is a great job of hitting no matter what. But if we look at the swing closely, we see that the timing of the swing is exactly the same. He's loading the same, he's getting his foot down the same, his heel plants at virtually the same time. initiates the swing. Look at the arms. They're swinging in the same area. The only difference is that he noticed late in the first one that he was late, and so he drew his hands in. But the general swing is exactly the same. One of these pitches matches his swing, and the other one does not. The other one beats the timing of his swing. Now, the only question is, which one of those two would you rather have? Would you rather throw it in the area that you know is the speed that he's ready to hit, or would you rather throw it slightly faster than that? Traditional thinkers would say that they'd rather throw it down and take the chance that he's going to hit a ground ball, even though he's going to be a lot closer to 100% on time to that speed. That's what EV is. EV is all of those things. It's not just one thing. It's not just the speed of that pitch. It's all of those things that we just considered. It is the fact that this hitter has an AZ, an attention zone. He is more ready to hit one speed than he is the other. We know that because he showed us that he's not ready to hit that slow speed and he's not ready to hit that faster speed. He's ready to hit this speed. And the pitcher helped him by throwing that speed. Not by accident or not by on purpose, because you can see the target's inside. He pulls this a little down and away, or a down and middle, I should say. But that attention zone is real. The hitter is prepared to hit a certain speed. And when the pitcher does something that's different than that, it makes his life a little bit tougher. So was he deceptive? A little bit. On the first pitch he was deceptive because he made him late. He was faster than the hitter was prepared to hit, so that's deceptive. The second pitch, was he deceptive? Somewhat, because he threw a pitch that was on the same horizontal plane and got a little bit of action out of him. He drank in that pitch, but he was able to hold up. Why? Because it didn't fool him long enough. It only fooled him for a split second. Less than half of the way to the plate, or less than half of the way to that magic 20-foot mark where he really has to start looking at a pitch hard. Halfway to that ball split apart, so he was able to take it. And then this one did fool him a little bit. It fooled him right into perfect contact because it was the speed that he expected. It wasn't really 96, so this was deceptive. This was a deceptive 96, but it was deceptive in a way that helped him and killed him. Speed is a very, very fickle thing. It totally depends on the perception that the hitter takes that speed in, and where it finally ends up is what the real speed of the pitch is. So there's a lot of illusion going on in this at bat, but not nearly enough illusion on the pitcher side to help him win that battle.